everyone. I am very excited to have everyone join me today and to be meeting you all. My name is Nicole and I am a student staff with Recreation and Athletics, and I am also a nutrition and food student here at Ryerson. This event is Let's Cook Food Chip Tuesday, and it is a part of Get Ryerson Ready for incoming Ryerson students. Be sure to stick around because I will be telling you the badge code word at some point during the video. And the badge code word is important for you to have so that you can input it and mark this event as complete on D2L. This is the first cooking lesson of this event, so I hope everyone has their ingredients ready and is ready to get going. Today we are going to be making easy lemon orzo pasta. Pasta is one of my favorite foods, and I love to make it and eat it in all of its different forms. Let's talk a little bit more about pasta. Pasta refers to a noodle made from semolina, which is a type of wheat flour. There are two different types of pasta. The first is a dried pasta, which is made with water. It is inexpensive and can be stored for long periods of time. Fresh pasta is made with eggs, and it has to be kept in the fridge and used within a couple of days. Pasta is a great source of carbohydrates, which provides your body with energy. It has a low glycemic index value, which does not cause big fluctuations in blood glucose levels. Now, let's break that down a little bit more. You might be wondering, what is the glycemic index? The glycemic index is a scale from 1 to 100 that ranks carbohydrate-rich foods by how much they raise blood glucose levels. The ranking is based on how the carbohydrate food, when digested, raises the blood glucose level in comparison to how the standard food, which is either pure glucose or white bread, raises blood glucose. White bread and pure glucose both have a rating of 100 on the glycemic index because they raise blood glucose levels higher and quicker than other carbohydrate foods. Pasta, when cooked to al dente, has a low glycemic index. This means that it scores 55 or less on the glycemic index scale. It raises blood glucose slowly, which can improve your blood glucose levels after a meal and helps keep you feeling fuller for longer. But when pasta is overcooked or cooked past al dente, it will have a higher glycemic index value and you won't feel full for as long. Most dried pasta will have directions on the packaging on how to cook your pasta al dente. For orzo pasta, which is the pasta we'll be using today, it cooks to al dente in 5 to 6 minutes. But cooking times may vary just depending on the stovetop you're using, so keep an eye on it. It is also important to note that 1 cup of dried pasta will give you 2 cups of cooked pasta. Now let's move on to the recipe and actually get started on making it. So for this recipe, you are going to be needing 1 cup of dry orzo pasta, 2 large tomatoes, 1 cup of fresh basil leaves, and for the vinaigrette you will need 1 large lemon, 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste. Now it's really important that you use a good quality olive oil because there are so few ingredients in this recipe. In order to do this, ensure that your label says extra virgin olive oil and look for a harvest date on the packaging. Mine can be found on the back side of the packaging here. It's also important to not fall for that price tag. A $30 bottle of olive oil isn't necessarily going to be better than an $8 bottle, so be sure to follow my previous tips to find a good one. So the first thing we want to do is bring salted water to a boil. I've already done this, so I'm just going to uncap it and put my orzo in. So also remember to take your temperature down to a low temperature. Once that pasta is in, set a timer for 5 minutes and stir frequently. Once the timer goes off, make sure to turn off your stovetop and strain it in a sink and then rinse it with cold water. Now we are going to be making our vinaigrette. So the first thing you want to do is zest your lemon. Just take your lemon, take your box grater, and put the lemon on these smallest holes here and just start zesting. You can also use a microblade if you have it, any other type of grater you might have. And if you only have a grater with big holes, that's fine too. So when you're zesting, you really want to make sure you're just getting that yellow bit. You don't really want to be getting the pith underneath, which is the white part of the lemon. That's what tastes really bitter. But the yellow part is what's going to bring a brightness to this dish. Right. Once that's done, take your lemon. We're going to cut it in half. And we are going to juice each half of the lemon. So quick tip, I know that there are seeds in here. What I like to do is to squeeze it into my hand first so that my hand catches the seeds. It's not a totally foolproof technique, but it works for me. If you use my technique, make sure you rinse your hands off because I know mine are full of lemon now. Alright, once you have cleaned your hands, you're going to add the rest of the vinaigrette ingredients into this bowl. So you're going to be adding a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and your salt and pepper. Well, remember when you're adding your salt to your vinaigrette, you also cooked your pasta in salted water. So just don't add too much, you can always add more later. Alright, now once that is done, you're just going to whisk until it combines. For the next step, we're just going to be adding in our cooled down Orzo to the vinaigrette. Scoop it in. Once you've got most of your pasta in, as much as you can get in, just mix it around. And let it sit on the side while you prep your basil and your tomato. So I'm just going to take my tomato and cut it, dice it like I normally would. You want to dice it into fairly small pieces, just because I find that really big pieces, they don't flow as well in the dish. Now that our tomato is cut up, you can move on to cutting up your basil. The way I found it is easiest to do, I just tear the leaves off of the main stem, usually the bigger leaves, and then I pile them up, roll them together, and then cut them. That's just the easiest technique I found. And if you want them a little smaller, you can go ahead and just chop those up. Once both of your ingredients are ready, you can take your lemon and Orzo mixture and add the tomato and the basil to the big bowl. Now mix. It smells so good. I'm so excited to eat this. And I love how bright it smells because of the lemon, and also how bright it looks because of the tomato and basil. And that's it. Here we have our easy lemon orzo pasta, which also just happens to be our code word, pasta. So that is capital P, lowercase a, S-T-A, pasta. One of my favorite things about this recipe is that it's really customizable. You can add so many different things and really make it fun and playful. You can add things like chicken, cucumber, mozzarella balls, Havarti, bell peppers. The last time I made it, I grated some Parmesan and threw in some cucumber just to add some more vegetables, and it was really, really delicious. So don't be afraid to really customize it and make it your own. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Cook Food Tip Tuesday, and tune in for our next session on July 28th. Thanks.